Over the next 10 episodes, we'll dive deep into 10 psychology tricks to build unstoppable confidence, but this isn't just about quick fixes. It's a story of transformation, mystery, and the powerful truth about what real confidence really means. Get ready to uncover the tricks, and the truth behind them. Episode 1, The Whisper in the Room. Fade in, int. Corporate conference room, day. A long glass table stretches like a mirror. The room is bright, sterile voices bounce off the walls like rubber balls. Armin sits at the edge, hands clasped so tightly they're turning pale. 10 people talk. He doesn't. A colleague's joke lands. Laughter erupts like a wave, but it crashes over Armin. He smiles a second too late. Narration VO. In every room, there's someone invisible. Not because they're quiet, but because no one's listening for their voice. Camera pushes in slowly on Armin's face. A flicker of something, disappointment, resignation. It passes quickly, buried. Int. Office kitchen, later. Armin pours coffee. 2 co-workers enter. The conversation flows through him. Co-worker 1. We should loop in Ravi, not Armin. He kinda. Fades. Co-worker 2. Laughs. Yeah. I keep forgetting he's on the team. Their words hit like needles under the skin. Armin doesn't flinch. He stirs his coffee 3 times more than necessary. Int. Apartment, night. The place is dark, minimalist, like someone lives there out of necessity, not comfort. 1 flickering lamp, a pile of unread books, and silence. Armin stares into the bathroom mirror. Not at his face, at the space behind his eyes. Voice VO. You were not made to shine. A whisper. Not real. Or maybe too real. He switches off the light. The whisper stays. Int. Bar, evening. Loud music. Glass clinks. Armin stands near the wall. Same scene, different night. People move like currents, he's a rock in the stream. Then. She appears. Look. Dark hair. Eyes like secrets. She's watching him, not like the others, not with boredom or dismissal. With intent. She walks over, slowly. No words yet. Just presence. Armin is frozen, not from fear, but the eerie sense that she sees him. Without asking, she reaches into her coat and slips a folded paper into his hand. Then leans in, whispering close enough to disturb the stillness around him, Myra. It's not about becoming someone else. It's about remembering who you were before the silence. She disappears into the crowd before he can respond. Armin unfolds the paper. Close up, 10 psychology tricks to build unstoppable confidence. Written in looping, careful ink. Underneath the title, use these. But know this: confidence is not the end. It's only the doorway. Armin looks up. Myra is gone. The bar is noisy again. Indifferent. But something in Armin's chest shifts. A pulse. A pull. Fade to black. Text on screen, Episode 2, The Power Stance. Int. Apartment, night. The list lies on Armin's nightstand. It glows faintly under a desk lamp, like something sacred, or cursed. He sits on the edge of the bed, reading the first line out loud, Armin softly. Trick 1, Power Poses. Change your posture. Change your state. He scoffs. Then mirrors the pose from a diagram beside the words, feet wide. Hands on hips. Chin high. He looks absurd. Armin Vio. I'm a grown man playing superhero in my boxers. But then he holds it. Just holds it. A full minute. Something shifts. Blood moves differently. Shoulders settle like armor. The mirror reflects not strength but the possibility of it. Int. Office, morning. Armin enters the conference room again. Same glass table. Same faces. But this time he doesn't sit immediately. He stands. Open. Tall. Posture unapologetic. People glance. One nod. Another raises a brow. He sits last. When the manager calls for volunteers on the upcoming pitch, Armin's voice rises before his mind can stop it. Armin. I can lead it. A moment of stunned silence. The manager blinks. Manager. Great. Noted. Heads turn. But it's not admiration. It's confusion. Like something familiar has been repainted in unfamiliar colors. Int. Office hallway, lunchtime. Armin walks with a strange new energy. His footsteps sound louder. The air reacts to his presence differently. Co-worker whispering to another. Did you see Armin in there? That was weirdly bold. Other co-worker. I thought he hated public speaking. Int. Apartment, night. Back home, Armin opens the envelope again. Something crinkles. A second folded paper is tucked behind the first. He opened it. It's the same list but handwritten. Not Myra's writing. Messy. Sharper. Like someone under pressure. There's a short note scribbled at the bottom, the tricks work. But something else comes with them. Be careful who you become. Armin stares at it, stunned. His hands tremble slightly. He looks back at the mirror, trying the power pose once more. But this time, the reflection smiles back. A little too confidently. Something about it feels off, as if confidence has arrived. But without asking who it belongs to. Fade to black. Text on screen, Episode 3, The Mirror Dance. Int. Crowded cafe, day. Armin sits across from a client. Calm down. Steady. As the man crosses his legs, Armin mirrors him, subtle, smooth. The man leans forward. Armin leans the same way. Their conversation flows effortlessly, laughter, nods, hand gestures. By the end, the client says, "Client. Something about you feels easy to trust." Armin smiles, but inside Armin Vio. This isn't ease. It's choreography. Int. Elevator, later. Two co-workers enter. One shifts her weight to the left, so does Armin. Another taps her phone, he taps his. No one notices consciously. But one co-worker glances at him, a flicker of something. Unease. Int. Dinner party, night. Warm lighting. Clinking silverware. Laughter. Armin is at ease, or seems to be. He mirrors people with precision now, their speech rhythm, shoulder tilts, even size. Across the table sits a man in his late 40s, sharp eyes, tailored suit. Watching Armin too closely. Strange man. To Armin. You ever study psychology? Armin. Faint smile. Why do you ask? Strange man. Because I know what mirroring looks like. Pause. And that move, the way you just nodded with your eyes before I even finished speaking, that's not instinct. That's Myra's move. Armin stiffens. Armin. You know Myra? Strange man. I knew her. Pause. She teaches confidence like a magician teaches card tricks. It works, but only if you forget you're faking it. He leans closer. His voice drops. Strange man confid. Question is, do you even remember who you were before this? Before Armin can respond, the host calls out a toast. The moment shatters. Int. Bathroom, night. Armin stares at himself in the mirror. He lifts his hand, watching his own motion like a puppet on strings. Armin Vio. If I've mirrored everyone else, what part of me is left? The reflection watches him back, not mocking. Just waiting. He tries to smile. The reflection smiles a beat too late. Int. Bedroom, later. Armin opens the list again. Under trick 2, mirroring, someone else has scribbled a warning, be careful who you reflect. Sometimes the mask sticks. Armin rereads it 3 times. His finger trembles slightly over the ink. He looks back at the mirror. For a second, just a second, his reflection doesn't move. When he does, fade to black. Text on screen, Episode 4, The Compliment Trap. Int. Office kitchen, morning. Sunlight spills across the countertop. Armin pours coffee, now surrounded by casual chatter, something that used to pass him by. He smiles at a junior designer. Armin. I noticed the new layout you did. The spacing clean. Confident. She lights up, surprised. Designer. You actually saw that? She walks away blushing. Armin Vio. Compliment first. Attention follows. He glances at the list in his pocket. Trick 3, compliment others genuinely. He's mastered it. Int. Team meeting, later. Armin walks in and immediately starts handing out praise like currency. You've got a sharp sense of timing, Ravi. That intro deck nailed the tone, Sana. Your feedback made all the difference, Lee. Each compliment is surgical, tailored, specific, disarming. The team leans in when he speaks now. He's magnetic. And he knows it. Armin Vio. People don't want to be impressed. They want to feel seen. But across the room, his manager squints, curious. Or suspicious. Int. Lunch table, later. Laughter. Shared fries. Armin at the center of it all. But as the group thins out, he walks past a glass wall and catches his own reflection. He pauses. Is that a smirk? Int. Hallway, minutes later. 2 co-workers talk in hushed tones by the stairwell. Armin passes, just out of view, and hears his name. Co-worker 1. He's like a mirror ball. Reflects whatever you want to see. Co-worker 2. Yeah, it's almost too perfect, like he's trying on someone else's skin. Armin freezes. His fingers instinctively move towards his ring finger, but he stops himself. No ritual. Just silence. Int. Apartment, night. Armin stares at himself again. The compliments replayed in his mind. His smiles. His tone. All controlled. He reaches for the list and notices something new scribbled under trick 3, praise draws people close. But who are they meeting? Suddenly, his phone buzzes. A message. Unknown number. You're learning fast. But don't forget, even masks need to breathe. No name. Just the memory of Myra's voice echoing in his head. Flashback, A glimpse. Myra, in a dim cafe, once said, Myra, charisma is an illusion. It's not who you are, it's how well you pretend to care. Hint. Apartment, night. Armin deletes the message. He returns to the mirror. This time, the reflection doesn't smile. It waits. Like it knows something he doesn't. Fade to black. Text on screen, Episode 5, The Name Game. Hint. Office, lobby, morning. Armin enters, briefcase in hand, nodding confidently to the receptionist. Armin. Morning, Tasha. She smiles, surprised he remembered her name. Trick 4, use their name. Build intimacy. Build control. Hint. Meeting room, later. Armin addresses the team. Every sentence is dotted with names. Sanat, your research was spot on. Ravi, I liked how you challenged the data. Lee, you've got a sharp eye for detail. The team beams, nods, leans in. Armin walks out of the meeting glowing. Armin Vio. Names are power. People listen when they feel known. Hint. Office hallway, lunch hour. He heads to the elevator. A janitor, elderly, quiet, passes by pushing a cart. Armin, high on momentum, offers a warm nod. Armin. Good afternoon. George, right. The janitor stops in his tracks, turns. Eyes narrow. Janitor. Softly. You're using the list, huh? Armin freezes. Armin. Excuse me. Janitor. That little folded paper with the 10 tricks. She gave it to you too. A cold silence spreads in Armin's chest. Armin. You mean Myra? Janitor. Chuckles, bitterly. That's what she called herself when I knew her. Back then it was confidence for the quiet ones. Before she vanished. He steps closer, voice low. Janitor confid. There were others before you. Just like you. Shy. Overlooked. Desperate to be seen. Armin. What happened to them? Janitor. Pauses. They stopped needing the tricks. Or. They got lost in them. Hint. Stairwell, moments later. Armin takes the stairs down instead of the elevator. His breathing is shallow. Armin Vio. Others, how many? What am I becoming? He pulls out the list. Now wrinkled, sweat-stained, but still intact. Under Trick 4, a new handwritten note in tiny red ink, names make you memorable. But don't forget your own. He touches his chest, as if searching for the part that still belongs to him. Hint. His apartment, night. Photos of his younger self on the wall, quiet, soft-eyed, barely looking at the camera. Armin stares at them like he's trying to remember that boy. Flashback, brief memory. Myra, her eyes shadowed, once whispering, Myra. The trick isn't to become someone else. It's to survive yourself long enough to choose who that is. Hint. Mirror, night. Armin says his own name aloud. Armin. Armin. Again. Armin firmly. I am Armin. But the reflection tilts its head just slightly as if questioning him. Fade to black. Text on screen, Episode 6, The Anchor Ritual. Hint. Armin's apartment, early morning. Armin's apartment is different now. Cleaner. Sharper. Like him. He stands in front of the mirror, adjusts his tie, then does something new. he taps his ring finger against his thumb twice. Armenvio. Trick 5. Create an anchor. A small gesture before moments of risk. Your body remembers it. Your brain believes it. He exhales. Smiles. He feels ready. Int. Conference hall, lunchtime. The crowd is bigger than he expected. Strangers. Executives. All eyes on him. He walks to the podium. Taps his ring finger twice. He begins. And it works. His voice flows. His hands move with intention. The audience nods. Armenvio. Confidence isn't magic. It's muscle memory. After the speech, people crowd him. Compliments fly. But behind the crowd, someone leans against the wall watching. Look. Before he can reach her, she's gone again. Int. Armin's apartment, late night. Armin sits at his desk, list beside him, now full of marginal notes, arrows, corrections. Next to the list, a new habit journal titled Triggers and Anchors. He writes, tap equals courage. Then, lower, without it equals. Int. Conference hall, 1 week later. Another event. Armin walks on stage. But this time he forgets. No tap. He opens his mouth and nothing comes out. The silence is deafening. Panic surges. His mind races. The anchor's gone and so is his confidence. He stumbles through the talk, voice cracked, hands sweaty. Murmurs ripple through the audience. Int. Bathroom, moments later. He slams the door shut. Grabs the sink. Looks at himself. Armin desperate. What's wrong with me? His reflection is blurred by sweat and shame. But in the mirror behind him a second figure appears. It's Myra. He turns, no one there. But on the sink counter, there's a note. If your confidence lives in a gesture, it will die when it fails. Underneath, scratched faintly into the paper, do you even know who you are without the tricks? Int. Armin's apartment, night. He sits on his bed, knees pulled in, list in one hand, Myra's note in the other. A single line echoes in his head. Myravio. Borrowed confidence has an expiry date. Flashback childhood memory. Young Armin standing at a talent show stage. Silent. Frightened. No tricks. No one noticed. Except, a girl in the back row. With dark eyes. Was it? Myra. Int. Mirror, late night. He tries the tap again. But this time, it doesn't work. Armin softly. Who am I without this? The mirror offers no answer. Just his face, and fear. Text on screen, Episode 7, The Because Illusion. Int. Coffee shop, day. Armin leans over a contract, negotiating with a reluctant client. The client frowns. We'll think about it. Armin. I understand. But you should sign today, because we're only offering this rate until Friday. A pause. The client nods. Signs. Armenvio. Trick 6, use the word because. The brain craves justification, even a thin one. Int. Office, later. Armin now glides through interactions like a chess master. Disagreements dissolve when he drops a because. Doors open. People comply. But as his influence grows, so does the hollowness in his chest. Co-worker. You're persuasive lately. Scary persuasive. Armin smiles, but behind his eyes, doubt creeps in. Int. Street, night. It's raining. Armin walks alone. Then, from the shadows, Myra appears. She's wearing black. No umbrella. As if untouched by the rain. Myra. You're getting good. Armin half laughs. Confidence looks good on me, right? Myra. That's not confidence. That's control. She steps closer. Myra confid. These tricks, they shape how people see you. Not who you are. Armin. Then what's the difference? Myra gently. If you stop using the tricks, will anything be left? Int. Armin's apartment, late night. Armin rewatches a video of his recent talk. Everyone claps. But in slow motion, his eyes look empty. He rewinds. Watches again. Still empty. On the edge of the screen, Myra is there, in the back row. Watching. Unsmiling. Flashback, college debate room. Young Armin, trembling at the podium. A girl in the crowd whispers to a friend, "Girl." He can't even finish a sentence. His head bows in shame. Now his words flow effortlessly. But they don't feel like him. Int. Bathroom, mirror scene. He pins Myra's latest note next to the list. Then, scribbles underneath in ink, "The tricks are working. But why do I feel further from myself?" He looks at himself in the mirror. This time, the reflection speaks in Myra's voice, "Myra Vio. Confidence without identity is just performance." Text on screen, Episode 8, The Eye Contact Challenge. Int. Elevator, morning. Armin steps in. A colleague joins. Silence. He looks directly at her. Holds eye contact. She glances away. Then back. Uncomfortable. Armin Vio. Trick 7, hold eye contact. It shows dominance, confidence, attention. People trust eyes that don't flinch. The elevator dings. She hurries out. Doesn't say goodbye. Int. Business dinner, night. Armin sits across from a client. Candlelight flickers. Wine glasses clink. He listens, gazes steadily. The client stumbles over their words. Client. You're intense. But persuasive. They sign the deal. Again. Armin Vio. I used to be invisible. Now, I'm unforgettable. He smiles to himself. But it doesn't reach his eyes. Int. Restaurant, date night. Armin sits across from a woman named Lena, kind eyes, sharp wit. At first, the banter flows. She laughs, relaxes, but gradually, Armin shifts into the zone. The tricks engage. The stare tightens. He holds her gaze like a weapon. Her smile fades. Lena. Are you even listening to me, or are you just playing a role? Armin falters. Armin. What do you mean? Lena. You're performing confidence. But I can't feel you. She stands. Leaves her wine half full. Lena over shoulder. Call me when you're not acting. Int. Park, night. Armin sits on a bench alone. The city glows behind him. His list is folded in his lap. He unfolds it again. The paper is worn, smudged, marked with notes in two handwritings, his and Myra's. In the margin, Scrawled in black ink, confidence is a trick. Courage is the truth. He stares at those words for a long time. Int. Mirror, later. He practices his eye contact again. But this time, it feels wrong. Like a mask slipping out of alignment. He blinks. His reflection doesn't. Armin softly. Who are you? No answer. Just the sound of his own breath. Flashback, childhood memory. A younger Armin sits across from his mother. He avoids her gaze. Mother. Look at me when you speak, baby. He can't. Shame too heavy. Back in the present, Armin finally meets his own eyes in the mirror. For the first time. There's no triumph. Only the terrifying, necessary beginning of truth. Text on screen, Episode 9, The Shatter. Int. Armin's apartment, early morning. Armin sits at his kitchen table, staring at the crumpled list. Coffee untouched. His mirror is covered with sticky notes. Stand tall. Smile. Hold eye contact. He rips them all down. One by one. Armin Vio. I wanted confidence. I got camouflage. He folds the list, walks to the trash, and lets it fall in. Int. Networking event, later that night. Bright lights. Laughter. Suits. Wine. Armin walks in alone. No pose. No ritual. No plans. He feels naked. People chat in confident clusters. He approaches a group. Opens his mouth. Nothing. His breath shortens. Palm sweat. He forces a smile. The words won't come. The group turns away. Armin walks to the bathroom, gripping the edge of the sink. Int. Bathroom, mirror scene. He stares at himself. Not straight. Not strong. Just, there. No tricks. No voice to guide him. Until a whisper rises, not from the mirror, not from the past. A quiet voice inside. His own. Armin softly. Show up anyway. Even if you're shaking. His reflection flickers. Not as an illusion, just as a man. A man afraid. But standing. Flashback, teenage years. Armin reads a poem aloud in front of the class. His hands shake. They laughed. He finishes anyway. Back in the present, Armin exhales. Int. Event, minutes later. He returns to the room. Spots someone else standing alone. Armin walks over, not with poise, but with presence. Armin. Hey. I'm Armin. First time at one of these. They smile. He smiles back. Not because of a trick. Because he chose to show up anyway. Text on screen, Episode 10, The Final Trick. No trick at all. Int. Myra's apartment, evening. A knock echoes. Myra opens the door, casual, composed, like she's been expecting him. Myra. You came. Armin. I need to know. Why me? She gestures him in. Int. Myra's living room, dimly lit. On a table, dozens of folded lists. Some with names. Others blank. Notes scribbled in different handwriting. Photos. Faces. Stories of others. Armin. How many people did you give this to? Myra. Not everyone. Just the ones who forgot they were allowed to take up space. She hands him his original list, creased, marked, loved, lost. Myra gently. The tricks weren't the point. They were a bridge between who you pretended to be and who you really are. Flashback, Myra's memory. A younger Myra. Shy. Avoiding eye contact. Invisible. An older woman, perhaps a mentor, places a folded list in her hand. She unfolds it. The first line reads, Trick 1, stand like you matter. Back in the present, Myra smiles. Myra. I didn't write the list. I just passed it on. Until people stopped needing it. Int. City street, night. Armin walks alone. No list. No performance. Just him. He passes the reflection of a store window. Glances at himself. No adjustment. No fixing his posture. But he smiles. Not because he feels powerful. But because he feels real. Int. Office, next day. He walks into a meeting. Someone tries to interrupt. He keeps speaking. Not louder. Just clearer. They listen. Later, a new intern drops their notes. Armin helps them up. Intern. Thanks. You always seem so confident. Armin pauses. Smiles. Armin. I'm not. But I show up anyway. EXT Park, sunset. Myra sits on a bench, watching the world go by. A girl sits beside her, head down. Nervous hands. Myra slips a folded list onto the bench between them. Rises. Walk away. The girl looks at the paper. Unfolds it. 10 Psychology Tricks to Build Unstoppable Confidence. Performing Arts Final Voiceover Armin. Real confidence isn't the absence of fear. It's not a pose, a ritual, or a list. It's the quiet decision to speak even when your voice shakes. To walk into the room even when you feel like you don't belong. To be seen especially when it terrifies you. That's not a trick. That's truth. Fade out.